Om Shanti. So today Baba is talking about this protection that every child wants from Baba. So the whole world, seeks protection from Baba. They say, Raksha Karo. Now, today Baba talks about two things: protection and also, grace. Sometimes children say that, Baba, just maintain your drishti on us. Drishti banaye rakhe. So Baba says, so children call out that Baba give us protection and Baba just benefit us with your drishti always, or just keep your buddhi towards us. So these are some things that we ask from Baba. But protection cannot be pleaded, cannot be demanded. Yes, neither can blessings be pleaded or demanded. You can only command them. That's the law. And today Baba says that you will receive natural protection from me if you are honest and you have a clean heart. Okay, so when you so Baba today says in the Murli, which children does the father automatically protect? So Baba doesn't choose, to protect this one or that one. It is according to the law. When something is automatic, it is according to the law. So according to the law, which children receive automatic protection? So Baba says, those who are very clean and honest and are constantly true to the Father are automatically protected. Those who have falsehood in them cannot be protected. Maya continues to pull them a great deal. Punishment also becomes fixed for them. Now, let's understand these words that Baba speaks. So, Baba says that you have to be clean and honest, and Baba says constantly true to the Father. Now, what is honesty? What is cleanliness? So sometimes we think that telling the truth is honesty. Yes, but that is not honesty. Sometimes I have seen that children tell the truth and then make the same mistake over and over again. And then they keep telling the truth. And do you think that if you keep doing that, then you will be earning a lot of good wishes? So let's take an example. Somebody submits you the chart and for the first time they say that, I made this mistake. So you obviously, you have good wishes that this soul should reform itself. But then if they send you the same chart 50 times, then you don't have the same wishes. Why? Because you understand that there is a problem with the intention. Yes, and the thing is, it doesn't matter if you do not, if you are not able to overcome something completely, but the effort should be visible. And it cannot be that if you make effort there is no success. There will always be success if you make effort. Baba has come to reform us, and Baba is giving us foolproof methods. And if you apply those methods, there will definitely be success. It cannot be that you are applying Shrimat and then you are not successful in reforming yourself. Now, the first thing is, Baba is talking about Maya. Now, Maya doesn't mean situations or problems that come your way. Sometimes when we come in Gyan, we think that Maya means problems or situations that come your way. Yes, or behaviors that come your way. That's not Maya. Maya is that which doesn't allow you to build the strength to deal with those situations. So anything on the external world looks like a problem or a situation because we are powerless inside. So one thing we have to first clarify is that the situation is not big. When you are weak, then the situation appears to be proportionally weak. That's how it goes. Yes, so we can take an example of a child, a little child who is trying to lift a table, and then the table appears very huge and very, very strong and very heavy for the child. Why? Because the child is weak in physical strength, not because the table is very heavy really, because if an adult picked it up, he could pick it up easily. So it's not about something on the outside being very difficult or being insurmountable or being a real obstacle. It's about the strength inside, and if the strength inside is less, then everything will look like a problem to us. So Baba says that Maya is not situations or behaviors. Maya is those things, those traits, those ways in which you are obstructed from making your effort that makes you powerful. Yes, so Maya doesn't make you angry in a situation. No, Maya stops you from doing Amrit Vela. Maya stops you from listening to the Murli with all your heart. Maya stops you from churning on the Murli. Maya stops you from remembering Baba. Maya stops you from purity. Maya encourages you to waste your time and energy. Maya encourages you to watch wasteful stuff, hear wasteful things, eat that which is not according to Shrimat. And Maya stops you from doing seva. That is Maya. Because everything that builds your spiritual capacity, Maya stops you from that. Yes, and who does Maya stop? Those who have falsehood inside. Yes, so if you ask yourself very honestly, do you have the pure intention of following Shrimat completely? Do you have the pure intention of following Shrimat completely? Then you will find that there is some falsehood inside that. So children do not surrender to Baba. They have falsehood inside them. They don't want to follow Shrimat completely. And Maya takes advantage of that. Yes, so Maya does. So when you don't have the honesty that yes, I belong to Baba. See, the truth is you belong to Baba. Yes, so let's say that honesty in the world also is the opposite of corruption. Yes, so when you are an honest, so somebody says he's an honest employee, an honest officer, what does that mean? That that person respects that whatever they have been given in the office belongs to the office, and they have to use it according to the law, right? According to the guidelines, according to the rules. That's honesty. And here also, when you understand the truth that I am a soul, and everything, my body, the relationships, the wealth, the thought, the capacity to create, everything has been given to me in trust. And the law is that I use it according to Baba's Srimad. And if there is no intention to be corrupt about it, there is no intention to do something which is not according to Srimad, then that is called having a clean heart and having honesty inside. And when there is not that intention, then there is falsehood, and then Maya will always trick us because there is that lack of purity of intention. And then we will never have a spiritual stage that is elevated. And then how can Baba protect us if we are self-sabotaging with our own karma? So if we do not do the karma that Baba is teaching us, that builds our spiritual strength and protects us from Maya, then how can Baba protect us? Yes, so if you are giving into Maya, then you do not have the strength to deal with situations. So then you ask protection in situations, but then Baba cannot do that because Baba gave you the method to become powerful, and you are not honest about, in the intention, honest in the intention to apply the method. Yes, so that's the thing. So when we are not honest with Baba, there is no cleanliness of the heart. So, when somebody tells you, you just look into your heart what is there. It means you check what is your intention. And so when you have an argument, sometimes, the other person will tell you that check your heart. Yes, so just check your heart, what's in there. So even if you spoke the right words, you apparently did the right thing, what is your intention? And that's what is meant by what is in the heart. So let me tell you that Baba tells us to maintain a chart every day. Yes, and today's Murli also Baba says maintain a chart, a daily chart about your whole day. So your thoughts, your words, your actions, every karma. But then this chart is not to be confused with confession. So sometimes in some religions there is this practice of confession. So you go, you confess that you did this wrong, and that's it. But giving a chart doesn't mean confession. It means realization and intention to change. So when you tell Baba something, so it's not like a one-way thing that you just tell Baba. No, Baba is also talking back to us through the Murli. And when I tell Baba something, Baba is answering it. Even if, if you try the format of submitting your chart to the Nimit sister, so which in your case is me. So if you try submitting the chart to me, then I will tell you whatever there is to change. Or if you're giving it in your sankalp also, then Baba will tell you in the next day's Murli what is it that you need to change. And when you receive a direction, you have to follow it. And if there is no intention of changing it, or if there is no intention of improving, then even that honesty is questionable, because then it is like a religious activity where you keep making mistakes and keep keep submitting it, and then you sometimes also have the ego of honesty. So I'll tell you one incident where there was this one sister and she kept making mistakes one after the other. And then I told her once, and when I pointed it out, she got very angry and she said, "But every time I told you." So, what does that mean? So, if you tell every time, how does that matter? Even if you tell every time, the purpose is to change. And if the purpose is not served, then what is the method good for? Yes, so sometimes you also have the ego of being honest, that I have been honest about everything, but honest doesn't mean honesty about telling your mistakes or owning your mistakes only. Owning means changing. If you have owned that this is a mistake, then there has to be intention of change. If owning your mistake is not followed by intention to change, then I don't know whether that would count as even owning your mistakes. I would say that is like transferring your mistake. So instead of getting your head burdened with the guilt of the mistake, you have given it to Didi, so let her head be burdened with it. So I think that's how we are looking at it, if there is no intention to change. So this is there. And then how do you check your mistakes? You check it in the mirror of Srimad. So you look at every day's Murli and you look at what Baba is trying to tell you to do and not do, and then you see whether you are behaving appropriately. And then you see where is the gap and what is it that Baba is asking you to not do and you're doing, and what is it that Baba is asking you to do and you're not doing. So there are both these things. See, there is a sin of commission, which means you do that which you are not supposed to do. And there is a sin of omission also, which is you don't do what you're supposed to do. So honesty means the intention to not do what Baba is asking me to not do. So not engage in lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, not give sorrow. Yes, all that is there. But then Baba is also asking us to do things, which is remember Baba, do seva, practice purity, study the Murli, pay attention to the points of the Murli. So these things also have to come in the chart. Sometimes the chart that children understand is only about, I did not do anything wrong. No, but that's not sufficient. You have to pay attention to whether you followed Srimad, whether you paid attention to remembrance, whether you paid attention to study, or whether you are paying attention to purity and seva. So that's the chart. So understanding these things is very important. And then the most important thing is realizing who I am, realizing who I belong to, and realizing my aim. Because when you come for the course, Baba tells us that you are a soul, you belong to Baba, you were in Satyug, you have a right to a happy and peaceful world, and now that right has been taken away by Maya. So until you win over your vices, until you completely become pure and create a new world, you cannot reclaim your right. So Baba has given us clarity, and until we understand the truth and stabilize ourselves in the truth, we will not be able to work towards reclaiming our world of peace and purity. So this is why Baba says, keep churning over the truth that I tell you, because we come from a body conscious world where the sense of I, the sense of mine, the sense of aim, goal, everything is very different. And then only when I churn over the truth of me, the one I belong to, and my aim, can I start thinking about what to do to reach that aim. So all these things have to be noted. Now, another thing that Baba tells about today is, so first thing Baba says, if you need protection, just have honesty, check your heart and see what's there and change it. Then Baba today says, some children are very afraid to tell Baba their illness. Yes, so they don't tell Baba what's inside of them. So you see that we are raised in a world where looking good and being bad is the norm. Yes, is it not? In the world, we are taught that you can be bad, that's not a problem, but you should look good. So you can do everything, that's not okay, but then nobody should get a hold of it. So that's the world. So we are basically trained to be hypocrites. So we are all raised to be hypocrites, trained to be hypocrites. So be everything on the inside and don't allow it to appear on the outside. And when we come to Baba also, sometimes, we put on this act of being pure and pious. So there is criminal intent inside, there is lust inside, anger inside, everything. And then you just put up this face and these clothes of being pure and white and clean and a good Brahmin. But then Baba says, for whatever you did until now was not in self-realization. But now you know that you are a soul and whatever you do affects your destiny. So do you understand that even if 100 people think that you are a good Brahmin, you're not going to heaven until and unless you are a good Brahmin. Okay, so here looking good doesn't work. So either you be good or don't be at all, it's okay. So it doesn't matter. So here you are for yourself. And I always remind myself this, that this is the only journey where it is about reality, it's not about acting. It's not about role, it's about me. And that's why this journey, there has to be complete honesty. You have to pay attention to what's going on inside. And Baba says there are some children who do not share what's going on inside with Baba. So do you know that we have been pushing whatever we know about ourselves, the dark side of ourselves, be, into the dungeons of obliquity. So you just don't want to address it. So even if you know that you have a certain sanskar, you blame it on others, you blame it on situations, or you just say that this is my nature, and you don't try to see it and address it. Yes, because it hurts your ego. Yes, does it not hurt your ego to address that I have this weakness? And then when it hurts your ego, then you feel ashamed. So Baba says some people are ashamed to address their weaknesses. I will tell you one incident. So there was this brother and he had a physical disease. And that physical disease was in some part of his body where he was ashamed to meet the doctor. And then that disease multiplied and it became very bad. That situation became very bad. And ultimately he had to see the doctor, but then it was out of hand and it was completely untreatable. And then every family member asked that brother, why did you do this? And why didn't you just come and see the doctor and face the problem and get it over with? So he said, I was very ashamed of my disease. And then you see, when somebody is ashamed of a physical disease also, what happens is you don't get it treated and it gets worse. It is the same with mental illness. Yes, so some people think that it is taboo, it is not something to be, accepted. You don't have to, you always have to deny that you have some mental issue that needs to be addressed. So even if you keep denying or running away from a truth, it only runs after you. It doesn't go away if you deny it. So in case of physical illnesses, mental illnesses, it's the same thing. And in the case of spiritual illness also, it is the same. You have to stop, accept it, address it. And I think before addressing comes acceptance. Accepting that I have this spiritual weakness, I have this lack of virtue, requires great courage because it hurts our ego. Does it not? Yes, so Baba says that if you don't overcome this thing, then how will you get yourself treated from Baba? So until you come to terms with it. Now let me tell you, even if you are not vocal about it, even if you don't want to share it with anybody, it's okay. But you have to, in your silent space, you have to come to terms with it. And you have to understand that I have this criminal eye, or I have this anger issue, or I have this feeling of jealousy or greed, or I have this feeling of discontentment inside. And then you have to look at Baba's Murli and take what Baba is giving and apply it and reform yourself. So that's very important. Otherwise, if you keep denying it, most people think that the Murli is for their spouse or their children, and they keep thinking that this Murli, if only this person applied this or that from the Murli, life would become better. But we have to stop and ask face this, that the Murli is for me, and what is it in the Murli that I need to imbibe, and what is the weakness that I need to give up. So this is there. And then Baba says, if you don't do that, Maya will eat you and you will stop studying. Now there is another thing that Baba says about Baba's drishti. So Baba today says that while sitting here, Baba's vision is on the serviceable children. On the path of ignorance too, there is love for obedient children. Baba knows which of his children are doing good service. Now, have you seen that in a household also, if there are two children sitting and you ask, give me a glass of water, and one child just runs and gets it for you, and the other one says, let me finish my game and then I'll go, then who earns your blessing? They are both your children, but still the blessings flow to that one who is serviceable, who does what you say. And Baba says, here also I am not, so even if I don't discriminate between children, all children are mine, still those who are serviceable, those who follow Srimad, create a spiritual stage and serve their fellow brothers and sisters, they earn my blessings automatically. So you don't have to ask for blessings. And I remember in one class, Gulzar Dadiji said something very sweet. She said that, when you remember Baba, you feel happy. You know that feeling that when you remember Baba, you feel very happy. But then when you are serviceable, when you are somebody who has devoted his life for Baba's service, you may be living in a household setting, but if you have surrendered through your buddhi that I belong to Baba, and in every thought, word, action, in every expenditure of your body, mind and wealth, you take care of Baba's Srimad, then Baba loves you and Baba remembers you. And Dadi asked a simple question, if you feel so wonderful when you remember Baba, just think how would you feel when Baba remembers you. And Dadi said, I know that feeling, and it is beyond any feeling in the world. And Baba says that if you want that Baba's buddhi should be towards you, so Baba says Baba's vision is always on serviceable children, and we don't have to even ask for drishti. If I am serviceable child, then I receive Baba's drishti automatically. And there is a story in Bhakti about this, and in that story there is Narayan, who is shown as God, and then there is Narad, and then there is Hanuman. So Narad keeps repeating Narayan, Narayan all day. So then one day he meets Sri Narayan, and then he sees a diary with Sri Narayan, and he says, so Bhagwan, whose diary is this? So then Sri Narayan says, this diary has all the names of my best devotees noted. So this is a list of all the devotees who love me very much. And in that diary, it was a big diary, so Narad sees that his name is there in that diary. So he is very happy, but then he thinks, let me check if Hanuman's name is there, because Hanuman claims to be a very good Bhagat and all the time he is remembering God, but let me see which number his name appears in. And then he checks the whole diary and there is no Hanuman's mention. And then he runs to Hanuman and he says, you know what, you keep repeating God's name all day, but he doesn't care for you. He doesn't even mention you in his diary of devotees. And then Hanuman says, it's okay. I remember my God and it has got nothing to do with the diary. And then Narad is very happy. Then some days later, he again meets Sri Narayan and then he discovers a small diary, a very tiny diary. And then he says, what diary is it, Bhagwan? And then Sri Narayan says, this is a diary where I have mentioned those devotees whom I remember. So in that diary there was mention of Hanuman. And you know that Hanuman is famous for being obedient. So Baba says that all these stories are created because there are children who remember Baba very well, and there are children who Baba also remembers. And if you want to be among them, then you be completely obedient and serviceable. So this is Baba's Murli today. And then Baba today in the slogan says, when you pay natural attention, tension will automatically finish. So when do you get tensed? When you don't do the right karma. So stress, fear, insecurity, they are all related to karma. And whenever you neglect, reject or attach, so neglecting, rejecting and attaching, they are all forms of impure karma. So when you are neglecting something that you ought to attend to, when you are rejecting Baba's creation in ego, so when you're body conscious, you reject souls, you reject behaviors, you reject situations, you are not in acceptance mode. So when you neglect, when you reject, or when you attach to a person, to a situation, to an attainment, or to your own ego. So when you attach, that's also impure karma. So when you pay natural attention of, doing the right thing at the right time, doing it without neglecting, rejecting and attaching. So when you pay attention to all karma, then all your tensions will finish. Because tension comes, all the stress is created because you are either neglecting, rejecting or attaching. And whenever there is impure karma, then there will be some disturbance in the soul. The conscience will not be in the right place. And then tension will emerge, and that tension will make you, aware that some consequence is going to come and you have to deal with it. So tension is like a foreboding of the consequence of the karma. But if you pay natural attention, now the thing is, so when you start doing something new, it will always be unnatural. Yes, so even if it is natural for your body to sit straight, it's natural. The body is designed to sit straight. But if you have been slouching for a long time and then you start sitting straight, it doesn't appear to be natural and easy. So you have to put in some effort and some awareness. But that doesn't mean it's not natural. It's just that you have created that habit which is unnatural. So the second nature is getting more powerful than the first nature. So second nature is the habit. So Baba says that when you pay natural attention, now attention is your natural quality. The soul is designed to be aware. So soul means awareness. So you are designed to be naturally aware all the time. You are designed to do every karma in conscious attention. So But when you start doing it in the beginning, it will appear a little difficult because we are out of practice for a long time. But once you start doing it, you will arrive at a state of natural attention. And then paying attention and doing everything in awareness will look like the natural thing to do. And then your life will be tension free. So if you become careless, you will invite more tension. You won't become tension free. So only careful can become carefree. So natural attention means natural carefulness, and that will lead to the state of becoming carefree. Okay, Om Shanti.